Now, there is something absolutely special about the Grand Seiko Evolution 9 white birch dial. It is truly beautiful, but at a price point of $11,000, we all can't afford a watch that is ultra luxury. So if you want something more affordable, we're going to look at an ultra affordable watch that is similar from Welly Merrick, and that is the WM207. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and this is All Things Random, mostly watch reviews with some random stuff sprinkled in between. If you like content from this channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help the channel. It really does allow some of these companies to know they can send me product to review to then bring to you guys. Now, what are we talking about today? Today, we are talking about not just an affordable watch. We're talking about an ultra affordable watch. Now, Welly Merrick, or WM, I have reviewed some of their watches in the past, and I've been pretty surprised at what they're able to bring for the price point. And today we are looking at an ultra affordable watch on AliExpress. Comes in on sale today while dropping the video at under $50. It's actually amazing that they're able to bring you all the points that I'm about to tell you for a price point of under 50 bucks. Now you have to ask yourself, why am I bringing you an ultra affordable watch on this channel? Well, not only do I look at ultra luxury watches, but I also love the ultra affordable and affordable watches, because that is the sweet spot for the average everyday person. Most people look at a watch purchase that's a couple $100 as being a luxury purchase. Well, that's great. What I want to do is be able to bring people into watch collecting at a more affordable end, so then you get the itch and then you buy a little more luxury, maybe that Tissot, maybe that Hamilton, then maybe a Tag Heuer, then maybe you get into the Tudor, and then you start your collecting. But there's always a entry level to this collecting, and that is what this is right now. So as always, details first, then my opinions at the very end. A quick walk around of the case. The diameter is going to be 39 millimeters. The thickness is going to be 9.4. The lug to lug, or overall footprint of this watch, is going to be 44 millimeters. And the lug width, or the strap width, is going to be 19 millimeters. Sadly, no chase strap. The bracelet is a Oyster Link style bracelet. It does have solid end links, goes from 19, tapers down to 15 to a Welly Merrick WM signed proper milled clasp. One of the things I do love about this is all those little micro adjustments, 6 micro adjustments in total. So you're going to get this perfectly fit on the wrist. The case of this is going to be 316L stainless steel. It does have a high polished bezel. It is brushed along the top with high polished along a cushion style case. This is similar to something like a Datejust if you want to go to the Rolex route in comparison, but it has a nice soft cushion case that flows down into the lugs. I think it's done quite nicely, especially for the price point that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. This thing, AliExpress on sale, 50 bucks. It's really hard to beat. Now you can see right here that secondhand ticks at about 4 to 5 ticks a second. That's because inside this is a VH31, a Seiko quartz movement that is actually quite reliable. It's one of the most reliable quartz movements with this style hand. Now, it does have all the reliability of a quartz watch without having to rewind the watch or reset the watch all the time, with the sort of the flow or the feeling of a more mechanical watch. Everything here works quite nicely. It's very smooth. It does have just a push crown, signed WM, just a push crown here, but this thing does offer 100 meters of water resistance, so it's almost that perfect everyday watch. Now, something like this, and we'll talk about the texture of the dial in just a minute, because that is where this really does excel, especially for a price point half of $100. Again, $50 on sale. But one of the things I do love about this style watch is it can be dressed up and it can be dressed down. And I say that because this thing on this Oyster Link style bracelet would look great in a suit. But if you want to toss something like a vintage suede brown chase strap that may fit a little too tight, we're actually going to try it at the very end. It actually dresses down quite nicely, similar to a Rolex Datejust. You can dress it up or dress it down, so it's almost that perfect everyday wear as long as you have a flathead screwdriver, like a jeweler's flathead screwdriver, or a simple watch tool to remove the bracelet. Now let's get into the details of the dial. Now this is similar to the Grand Seiko Birch Bark dial with the horizontal lines. Now this thing, of course, is not compared to Grand Seiko. I'm not going to try to compare it to Grand Seiko because we're talking an $11,000 watch to an under $100 watch on sale, a $50 watch. So clearly there are no comparisons, but you have to admit that the deep grooves and texture of this dial is done quite nicely, especially for the price point. It does have baton indices all the way around, almost like a triple at the 12, a WM just below the 12, just above the 6, it says quartz, and then 10 ATM, 100 meters of water resistance. This is the watch on my 7¼ inch wrist, and you can see that that footprint of 44 millimeters actually fits quite perfectly. I think that a watch of 38, 39 millimeters under 40 millimeters with a lug to lug of 44 is actually the perfect size watch size for the average everyday wrist. Now that you guys have a general overview of the watch in hand, let me give you what I think about this watch, the pros and cons. Well, at $50, you're actually getting quite a bit. So let's talk about the materials first. You're getting 316 L stainless steel, a solid stainless steel case. Now, even a company like Timex for $50 for their Weekender or Waterbury series, especially their quartz that comes around $30 to $70, aren't full stainless steel. Basically, it's a brass case that may be covered in an aluminum or a metal paint, but it's not a full stainless steel case. This is a full stainless steel case with solid end links, with a solid stainless steel bracelet, with a proper milled clasp, with 6 points of micro adjustment. So not only is this a solid watch, but it also has a sapphire crystal along the top. That's a lot right off the bat for $50. Then it has a Seiko VH31 quartz movement in it. Now, this isn't the lowest end quartz movement by any means, because trust me, if you look at, again, something like the Timex Waterbury collection or the Timex Weekender or Expedition or any one of those affordable quartz watches, it has that single ticking second hand and it just feels cheap. Whereas this has a more smooth 4-tick to 5-tick a second hand that gives the appearance of more of a mechanical watch. Now, this could be something you could argue about. Well, it's not a mechanical watch. It's not a mecha quartz movement. It's just a quartz movement that has a slightly higher beat rate, I guess, to give the appearance. Okay, it still has the reliability and the accuracy of a quartz watch without having to change the time every time you don't wear it, and the battery is going to last you from 2 to 3 years, so it's a great piece to wear every single day. And not just that, but I will tell you that the texture on this $50 watch on the dial, I think, is actually pretty damn good. When I got close up to it with the macro lens, when I tried to shoot this watch at different angles, I found that the quality control was actually extremely high, especially for something that's so cheap. And again, even if this thing comes in at $100 on a non-sale AliExpress sale or on the standard Welly Merrick website, I'm telling you, $100 is still a great deal. It's hard to find anything That's as good. Now, if you want to complain that the bracelet isn't perfect, fine. It does have a male in link, and it does protrude out slightly more than it should. But that means it would go from a 44 millimeter to a 46 millimeter overall footprint, which is still a great size watch for the average wrist size, right? Anywhere from 6 3/4 to 7 3/4. This is the perfect sized watch. And 100 meters of water resistance is extremely hard to beat. That means that you can wear this watch everywhere all the time unless you're scuba diving. But if you wanted to wear this watch while you're going swimming on vacation, you could. If you wanted to, and I already mentioned it, replace the strap with something a little more subdued, something like a vintage suede tan leather strap, right? Something light brown, it dresses it down quite a bit, but that bracelet also dresses it up. This thing is a great, perfect first watch if you want to introduce yourself into a perfect, everyday, affordable watch. And I would love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments about a perfect, everyday watch, a first or a one watch collection under $50. Under $50, a watch that ticks all the boxes. I want you guys outside of this Willie Merrick to leave it down in the description below. Full stainless steel case, full bracelet, even if it has a leather strap, fine. It has a good movement inside. The VH31 Seiko movement is a great, accurate movement. And I love the fact that it doesn't have the one tick a second hand. It has the multiple ticks a second. So it just feels more like a luxury watch. And yes, this is called the Birch Forest. Specifically, this one is in white, and they do have multiple other colors. That being said, I really do think that they're doing a really good job bringing you a high quality product at an extremely affordable price. If you're still here, do me a favor. I really do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. It really does help the channel. Give me a like. If you do like this video, share it to somebody else. Hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.